P.S. It's USP. Read the title again, idiot. Hey guys, it's Amy here, back again with another video. Your cover may be the most valuable marketing tool as an author, but what will be the next most valuable thing? A unique selling point or a USP? Outside of the book world, a USP is used as a way to make sure that your business is distinct from the rest. It is there to help you stand out in the vast market created by the thing that we love to hate, capitalism. You will need to use this tactic if you want your book to gain attention. It is shorter and snappier than the blurb and a good thing that you can include in any of your tweets, your Instagram captions, or anything with a short character span. And your audience is gonna love this. That being said, please do not write a book after you have created the unique selling point. You need to make sure that you have your book written first, and then you can determine what the unique selling point is. So in this video, I'm going to be covering what a unique selling point is and the ways that you can use it for your own books. A unique selling point in business terms is what makes you stand out. It's what you have that your competitors don't. What gives you an edge against them. The number one reason they should be supporting your business and not anybody else's. But Amy, competitor? Are you saying that your own book is superior? No, that's in business terms. In creative arts and creative businesses, competitor is not used as a term that pits people against each other like rivals. I definitely recognize and encourage that authors go and support other authors. However, your books will be fighting for your readers' attention, and frankly, they're short attention spans. In terms of your book, this will need to be what draws the readers in. Aside from the cover, this will be the second thing that's going to captivate your potential readers. You basically need to be able to work out what makes your book unique compared to all the other books on the shelf. However, there is one thing that I do need to mention about this. Let's face it, your book is not completely unique. What does make a book unique is how different tropes combine together to make their own little pick and mix. You won't be able to find a single unique thing that's going to be drawing people in, because a single unique thing that is very standout and prominent in your book, such as your book featuring enemies to lovers, that doesn't mean anything. Any book could have enemies to lovers in it. It's like how fast food joints these days are no longer the exclusive burger joint or oriental food joint. They have signature burgers and sides that you go for, such as McDonald's Big Mac or Burger King's Whopper. So you will not be able to get your book out there by saying it has one single and unique thing. Many unique selling points for books will stem from a combination of tropes or comparisons. Ones that are easily recognizable and that you know are popular. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through all these examples of unique selling points that you can use to hook readers in. You won't need to use all of them, but it's a good idea to have at least 3 up your sleeve. And of course, I'm going to be giving some examples using some real-world popular books and my own book. Because you know I'm an author, I have a book. Buy it now in the description, thank you. Tropes these days are very much a key marketing tactic that you can use, especially on Book Talk. On Book Talk, they are gluttons for enemies to lovers. But it'll never be enough for you to just say that there is one particular trope in it. Any old book can have enemies to lovers. However, if you do mention another trope in your story that combines with it, that can become a little bit more of a powerful thing, because it's a bit more unique. There are millions of popular tropes out there, but if you combine 2 of them together, that is millions more niche. Enemies to lovers plus Magic Academy, morally grey protagonist plus corrupt government, hot vampire plus fairies? So here are some real-life examples of trope cocktails. Let's go with the Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. A unique selling point that you can create using the trope cocktail would be a protagonist of color plus supernatural warriors. And for my own book, ASTER'S CODA Exposure, I would go with Hidden World plus Secret Services. You need to get out of your ass and stop saying that your book is the most unique thing on the planet. It's not going to do you any good. Referring to your novel as being similar to other pieces of existing media is a very powerful marketing tool. It's basically saying, if you like these, then you will like my book as well. It can be very compelling if you pair up 2 very polarizing pieces of media as well. because sometimes unusual combinations can be something that draws people in. And if you know what books or movies are popular, that can definitely help you out as well. The Savior's Champion by Jenna Moresi can use this USP. It's the Squid Games meets Bachelorette, with a little bit of fantasy sprinkled in there. Similarly, my own book can be described as Shadowhunters meets Dungeons and Dragons, even though I read City of Bones and I absolutely hated it. But that is irrelevant. You may hate a book or a piece of media that is similar to yours, but you can still use that as a marketing tactic as long as you don't say it is the better version of this piece of media. If it helps you sell it, go ahead. This is very similar to the previous one, but combining it with the tropes. You are narrowing down your comparability a little bit with this, but you're making it that much more niche. You can take a single piece of media that your book is very similar to, but then add in a trope that makes it completely different. And that will be what your book is. And like I said before, you cannot just say that it is the better version of this. It's like City of Bones, but better. I'm sorry, I'm always gonna be salty about that book. We don't like cocky people. It is better to use a trope and compare it to a piece of media. Brandon Sanderson's Steelheart book can be described this way. It's Marvel's Avengers, but with a dystopian setting. And my own book can use its own USP, Men in Black. But instead of aliens and planets, it's fantasy worlds. Similar to in your blurb, your inciting incident can be a very powerful marketing tool, because we know that the inciting incident is typically the place where readers will get the most hooked and most likely to continue reading your story by the time they reach it in reading it. That was so long. It's a promise that you give your readers when you include it in the blurb. This is an event that is guaranteed to happen and will end up following through. But the difficulty is trying to fit this inciting incident into one sentence, and this is without making it generic, such as James discovers a new fantasy world. You need to make it snappy and still include all the key parts. For Scythe by Neil Schusterman, you could say, in a world where everybody is immortal, Stitcher and Rowan are selected to be trained to kill them. And my own novel's USP, using an inciting incident, is, after the mysterious death of Abby's mother, she discovers her family's otherworldly blood feud and her place in it. Reviews are a very powerful marketing tool to help you come up with a USP. You may have not read a book or seen a film comparable to your novel, but your reviewers, your ARC reviewers, your audience, your beta readers, and your critique partners might have. You can use their literary and cultural wisdom to help you, you uncultured swine. I mean that endearingly. It may be worthwhile to ask them as you go through the process of CPs and beta readers to ask them if there's any comparable pieces of media to your book. And also if there are any standout tropes. Furthermore, if an actual review says this, you can use that as marketing material to help out with USPs. And therefore you have more validation of how strong your book actually is. For me, this is a very subconscious thing that a reviewer pointed out when they reviewed my book. They said that my book was appropriate for people who liked Percy Jackson but were looking for something more young adult, which is very interesting because in the early days of writing it, I literally tried to copy Rick Riordan's writing style until it evolved into my own. And that's the down low on unique selling points for your book. Feel free to put your own unique selling points for your books down in the description. Maybe you might get a potential new reader interested. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you are new around here. Ring that bell so you can find out when I post some more creative content. You've already heard me rave enough about my book ASTER'S CODA Exposure. You've heard like 7 different unique selling points. I'm sure you're hooked by now. Check down the description if it's your thing. And you can also check down there to find my Instagram, my Fiverr, my TikTok, and my website. Stay creative, everybody, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.